You don't matter. I'm making a hypocrite out of myself because many times have I said you matter, you could make a difference, all of these good things, which on some levels are true. And now I want to speak on why you actually not mattering is a great thing. Okay? It's because nobody's keeping score. You're the only one keeping score. You're the only one worried about what everybody thinks about you. Nobody else is caring about what other people think about you. All right, just you. You're the only one keeping score. All right. You wonder what would people say when you put this out there. I mean, how many people are actually watching when you do put it out there? And is the result ever as bad as you thought it was? All right. So that thinking pattern kind of disables you from doing as much as you could. You think you got the rest of the world to figure this out. And naturally, I will understand how you could come to that conclusion because you've been alive for thousands of days. If you're my age, you've been alive for the better half of 2,000, 10,500 days, closer to, yeah, closer to 11,000 than 10,000. But the fact of the matter is I could die right after I make this video. This might be the last video I create. And so it would probably be wise of me to use my nothingness, the fact that I don't matter, to do the things that actually matter to me. Because things matter to me, things matter to you. All right? And one of the things that seems to matter to you more than anything else is what other people think of you. And the fact of the matter is, when you do die, nobody was ever really. You'll find that you won't find, but any onlooker would see that the score wasn't even kept. It'd be more so of, man, I wish I had more of him. Wish I would have spent more time around here. Wish he would have did more of this. When an artist dies that you really like, damn, I wish he would have just put out more. He was just getting started. That's all people care about when you're done, when you're gone. There's a lot of people who are supposedly close to me right now, haven't seen a single YouTube video. And I put out over 300 at this point. And so when I actually do go, it's my hope that they find these videos and they get something out of it. If nothing more than just, there's his voice. That's who he really is. So I remember the times where when I was living in Virginia and I would do a lot of recording in the closet. It was in a closet that was in a room that was in an apartment that was in a building. Like I was so closed in, like so deep into a shell where it's like nobody really knew what I was doing. And in this darkness, in this closed in space, wasn't actually dark, but in this closed in space, I was creating things that could pierce through all of this and find this way to you, to wherever you are. But if you were in a closet, closed in many places, you were in a building, underground, in a car, wherever it is, it can find you, or you can find it. And when I'm not worried about what everybody else may think about it, it really does free me up to do a lot of these things that I really want to do. And the fact of the matter is, the world is going to go on without you. You take the biggest celebrity of all time, the most loved person of all time, many times over, because it happens many times. People mourn, and then they find a way to move on. That's just going to happen. That's going to happen. When you die, your family just has to go on. All right. So while you are here, make it your business to say, nobody else is keeping score. Why should I? Let's just run it up. Let's run it up. Let's do everything we want to do. And I believe, I'm pretty sure that this will lead to you um having a more fulfilled life. So I'm checking the chat of my video that I just recorded. But you gotta stay true to what you believe in, what matters to you. That's going to be what guides you. All right, now if you try to let what you think other people may think of you or what may be expected out of you, you let that be the guide, you're not going to be happy at all. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know, man. I'm a lot like any of you that may be watching, where I don't want to rub people the wrong way. I really don't. But ultimately, none of that matters if it fails in comparison when it comes to what matters to me. I found myself alone entirely too much. I found myself lonely and down entirely too much. So I'm not going to let anyone try to dictate what I should be doing just because, they may be afraid of putting themselves out there. And I could be afraid at times of putting myself out there too, but I'm still going to do it. I have to. It's the only way I'm going to grow. I can't grow by trying to put myself in a safe bubble, the safe box, and be agreeable. All right? I'm on the block list of a lot of people, maybe even hundreds. And although I shot from the hip sometimes and, can't take it back, I'm glad I rubbed people the wrong way. All right? I'm glad. All right? I stood for something and I stood firm. Okay? So, that doesn't mean I'm always right, but hey, that's what happens, man, when you stay true to who you are. And you can't allow anybody to penetrate your mind with their own viewpoint on the world, Because a lot of people, looking to be a follower. They're looking for something to follow, and that's the end of it. All right. So with that being said, you don't matter. So pay attention to what matters to you. All right.